You and I might disagree, Lynn. I've been told everybody who supported Ammon Bundy should be kicked out of the party.
I'm not saying kick you out of
the
the party, I'm asking why you're so against people who are
So
liberty-minded.
the reason I joined with Tom and Patty Ann and Tom Lurcher, okay, so Patty Ann was one of the longest serving Senate State Affairs chairs.
Mhm.
Tom Lurcher is in fact the longest serving House State Affairs chair. If you're familiar with the State Affairs Committee, almost everything we say makes Idaho conservative goes through the State Affairs Committee. So these are the people who presided over the laws over decades that made Idaho conservative, okay? Now, on any one given issue, I disagreed with all of them. I disagreed with Tom Luna on
Common Core?
Common Core, yeah, that was the one I disagreed with him on. I disagreed with Patty Ann on many issues. I've disagreed with Tom Lurcher on fewer issues, but I disagreed with all of them on some issues. But the one thing we all agree upon is we need precinct committee people who are hard workers and dedicated to the precinct people, to the people who elect them. It's kind of the principle of who's your boss? Who's your boss when you're a precinct committee person? Your boss are the voters of your precinct. They're your only boss. And we were beginning to sense that there were precinct committee people who were taking orders from some other entity besides the voters in that precinct. So that's what that letter is about. Oh no. Okay, so make it very clear.
The letter was.
The letter does not, in fact, I do not know to this day who we're talking about. We're gonna look after Friday. Friday is the end of the filing deadline. After Friday, we're gonna go to every precinct and we're gonna say which person in this precinct will be most dedicated to their voters.
I've been
Okay.
told that they're gonna come after me by people
Well,
that
then you've
are in
been
your
lied to
group.
because
And why would that
filing
be when
deadline-
I've worked very hard for the party and I support our chairwoman?
Yes.
And
Okay.
we are going to hell in a handbasket in this state if we don't get more conservative, liberty-minded people. Because, sorry, I think there's a lot of dinosaur thinking. And yes,
I know.
you may
I
have
get-
fought for all kinds of laws in the past, but we have to get stronger and better at what we do, or we're gonna lose our state.
May I throw out
Sorry.
just a tad of history? There used to be a representative over in Canyon County, Dolores Crow. She very conservative. My discussion with her was that back in the day, none of the legislators, it was before they changed the law, they could not be on the ballot twice. They couldn't be in a precinct chair and a legislative seat. Then back in the 70s, that got changed. When I started in the party in Canyon County, legislators were precinct people, then they got elected as the district chair, and then they came over to the state house to represent you. And Dolores was raging about that. She said legislators should never be a precinct committee man because you are to feed them, they are not to orchestrate from your county level. So I believe we need to change that law back again. But that's just a little bit of history most of us don't know.
Trent,
Yeah.
you have, in your letter, you said that you had had $1 million committed to this cause to oust precinct committee officers, and you were looking to raise an additional $1 million. That is in the letter that Lynn is talking about.
Oust precinct?
Yes.
You are,
Yes.
well,
That's what Tom
yeah.
Mooney talks
No, it
You're
doesn't say
trying
that.
to turn over precinct committee officers, and you already have $1 million committed, and you're looking to raise an additional $1 million. Can you tell us who the $1 million has been committed from?
Okay.
And where are you getting the next $1 million? And how does that translate when you're talking about potentially $50,000 to oust a precinct committee officer? That is money that we've never seen spent in
Okay,
Idaho.
so
And that's frightening money.
Maria?
So I'd like to know the
Excuse
$1
me,
million.
ladies.
Can he answer the question?
But
please?
just a second. That's a good question. If we're gonna ask a question, let's let him answer. So ask a question in a respectful way, and please let him answer, and then we can move on. That's how we learn.
And I appreciate that, thank you. So Maria, I can tell you one donor, and that is me, and I am going to put $100,000 into this. But it is not to oust anyone. And Lynn,
Yes.
we're gonna look at your precinct, and we're gonna see you and possibly 2, 3, I don't know how many other people may run. And we're gonna say, okay, who's paid their dues? Remember what I said about pulling the rope? Who's pulling the rope, okay? We're gonna find out who's been pulling the rope, and that might be you. In which case, we're gonna come to you and say, would you mind, if this looks like it's a tough race for you, we'd like to come and support you. We will try to find volunteers to walk your neighborhood for you, to drop your literature for you. That's what we're gonna do. We've not identified a single precinct committee person who we're gonna boost. And by the way, no dollars have been actually accumulated. My donation, I know I have because it's sitting in my bank account, and I have said, I mean, in theory, maybe no one who is a real hard worker applies. I don't think that's the case. I know this party. I know all the people. There are many good hard workers. But I'm not committing a dime until I see the names. Then when I see the names, I'm going to support the person who I believe will
What's
pull
your
the vote.
litmus test? What's the litmus test for?
It's like I said, it's the best litmus test that's available, and that is who's done the work.
But I'm sorry, one thing, and I don't know you, and thank you for coming, but I see you online a lot criticizing Dorothy Moon. And I'm sorry, I mean, my only remark is that when you say that you're gonna be helping some PCs, and I'm not a PC, so I'm asking this question just because as the conversation is going, it's just a question mark that I have. You say that you're gonna be helping whoever is pulling the rope. On which direction? Because you seem to be very critical.
And it
of
sounds like you
Chairwoman
want to pull the
Moon.
rope. It sounds
Yeah,
like you
no,
want to be
it's
the
a
one
center right
pulling the rope.
coalition, and the rope is to pull from the center to the right.